Hey there YouTubers, finally gonna do my video on how to make a alcohol stove out of 2 soda pop cans. So first thing you need are your 2 soda pop cans. You're gonna take, first you want to take both cans and get something of a known height. So I usually stack a couple DVDs or use a book or something. Let's see here. Okay, so you're gonna get a Sharpie and lay it on your known height that you're going to use. And you're just gonna kind of draw around the can with it. So you get a nice even line. You're gonna do that on both cans, both from the bottom up. Once you have done that on one of the cans, you're going to flip it upside down, and you're going to use a utility knife, and you're basically going to use it. Sorry, I'm trying to do this one-handed. And you're just going to use the knife, and you're going to score around that crease, and you're going to keep going around and around and around until it weakens, and you're able to push that in. You can just discard that bottom part. You don't need it. What you will end up looking, or after that, I'm sorry, once you have your lines drawn, you're going to cut along those lines. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you want to make it as straight as possible. You will end up with that, 2 bottoms of about the same height. The part that you cut the bottom out of, you're then going to get some kind of hole punch. Some people use a little awl, some people use a thumbtack, some people use a nail and just kind of hammer to poke a hole. You want to be careful, whatever way you choose to do it, not to compromise the can, not to bend it or crack it. I actually use just a little hand drill with just a small bit on it, and that's what I use to drill my holes. The holes you drill, you want to get it kind of on the outer part. The closer to this top, the easier your pot will smother out the flame once you put your pot on top of that. So I've drilled, I don't know, I usually do probably about 20 holes. I half it, and then I half it again, and then I quarter it, and keep going until I've got something that looks like that. Then what you're going to do is with the top of the rest of the can that you cut off, you're just going to cut that. Now, you want it semi-straight, but again, it doesn't have to be perfect. I probably need to trim up that bottom part. But what you will do is, and you go ahead and you just, you cut it all the way open. You're going to place it in the bottom part so it fits nicely around the little indentation that's already there for the Coke can. So once you get it coiled where it fits nice around there, you're just going to get and put a staple through there. So let me trim this up and I'll be right back. Okay, and also when you are doing your coil in here, you want to make sure it's fairly level as far as when it's in there. It's not all crooked, and because the other part is going to have to fit on top of that. Also, you just want it to be maybe ½ an inch longer than your initial piece. Okay, finally got my staple in. So, as you can see, actually that might be a little too small, but it fits fairly nicely in the outer groove. I'm a little worried that's a little too small. We'll have to just play it by ear. And then what a lot of people do is cut little triangular notches at the bottom. What I like to do is, see if I can show you and do it one-handed. I just like to, this is not, Okay, what I like to do is just cut two, I don't know if you can see it, just two little notches, and then just bend it in. Like so. Okay, so that's what it looks like. I usually do about 3, seems to work well, and that allows the alcohol to get through. So you put your notch side down into the can that still has its bottom. Now this takes a little bit of work here. This, you're going to work into it where it goes inside this bottom, not on top or over it, inside it. And it does take some working. You have to be careful. You want to compromise the can as least as possible. You definitely don't want any tears or rips, because then the whole thing is gone. Okay, so once you have the top fitted inside the bottom, kind of work around on the inside, work out any wrinkles, any crinks that might have, crinks, is that a word? I don't know. Any wrinkles or any crushed in parts from the can that might have gotten a little messed up while you're working it in. And if you do it right, I know some videos they have you put like a sealant. If you do this right, you won't need any kind of sealant. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to slowly start pressing this top part down, and the little coil part that you put in, the goal is for it to fit nicely in between both the top and the bottom. So as you press down, you want to slowly make sure that that coil part, is securely in the grooves of both parts. And this one appears to be good. Now what I'll do, crap. I have a tear right there, which means the whole can has been, the whole thing is compromised. I'm going to have to cut out another bottom piece. But, crap. That's a bummer. Not hard to do, but at least the top part is what you really don't want messed up. That's probably the harder part to make. The bottom I can make pretty easy. But let's just skip ahead as if I didn't screw up. Okay, this is what the can will end up looking like. You've got the bottom, you've got the top, you've got my holes all around. I think it looks like I drilled a few extra holes up in the top. But it looks like most of my holes are in the sides. That seem to work well for me. And what I do is, once I make one, I kind of try it, see where maybe I need more holes, maybe I need to put some down there, maybe I need to put some more up there. I just trial it until, you know, the jets work well. Now this you can use 91% alcohol in, which is probably more cost efficient. I think this was $1.58 for 32 ounces. This heat stuff is, I believe it's denaturized alcohol, but it was $1.77 for 12 fluid ounces, so a third almost of that for a little bit more. But the heat does seem to light faster. So we'll go ahead and get some of this stuff. Pour just a little bit. It doesn't take much. Obviously, it depends on how long you want this to burn. For. Yeah, I'm just gonna try to bring this little pot to a boil. So I'll probably maybe a third of the way. I usually light with matches or something, one of those like candle lighters, because this stuff burns quick. watch it for a minute. And here shortly, you're going to start seeing flames come out of the jets, the holes that we put around the lid. And sorry it's loud in here, I've got my dishwasher running. Turn on the light. Doesn't take very long, about 30 seconds to a minute. And then it really doesn't matter what size pot you put on there, it's just going to act like a gas stove, and it's going to spread the flame out to heat whatever surface that you've got on it. So let's see here. I just blew a little bit inside of there. For some reason I found that kind of speeds up the process. So. Alright, now you can see we've got flames coming out of all of our jets. Put the pan over it. And as you can see, the flame just spreads out through the jets and heats the pot. We'll come back and check in a few minutes and see if that's been brought to a boil.